So you wanna fuck and you wanna suck, huh? You want that relationship, huh? The sad part is relationships are a pretty damn difficult thing in 2025 because it's a spillover effect. How humanity as a whole, as we as a little human beings in this civilized world, this modern, so progressed, the progress is just everywhere, it's so abundant. It's a spillover effect how we as a human beings are doing, as how our relationships are doing. And now we're talking about those chitty chitty bang bang sexual relationships that we all want. Well, some people don't want them anymore. That's another spillover effect. Because you know, we as a human beings in this civilized world that's full of progress, we have become extremely sick, and you can see the effects if you just observe everywhere. And there's thousands of different manifestations of these sicknesses and diseases and ill effects that the modern world, that our ancestors and we built. We went along with it. There was couple puppet masters behind our ancestors and ourselves back. But we built the world. Let's be honest, we did. And now we are reaping the rewards. That's not a right word. It's more appropriate to call it consequences. And like I said, there's thousands of manifestations and thousands of different manifestations in the relationship game. Some people are not interested about sex anymore. Some people are confused about sex. Something that used to come very naturally to most of us. Or your ancestors. Some people are very confused who they like. Some people find it very difficult to get into a relationship. That's the whole black pill culture. Black, blue and red pill culture. Especially the black pill guys. The incels. Some people find relationships extremely toxic. They can get into relationships, but they never get a good one. They never have the ability to pair bond with their partners. Pair bonding is something also that many of our ancestors just naturally kinda easy peasy lemon squeezy could have. They were together all their lives. They get together when they're 15, 16, 17, 18. They got married at 20. They had their kids. And then they died in their 80s, 90s. Some lucky ones in their hundreds. And they were together all their lives. Like I said, why it is so hard is because of the environment we have built for ourselves that really fucks up our physiology. Our physiology does not work anymore like human physiology should work. That's why we have all these hundreds and thousands of problems when it comes to relationships. I forget to mention about the infertility crisis. Some people, some lucky ones, might find the right partner. They have a good time and they want to procreate. A rare... Sorry, the wind is crazy. I hope the camera blocks it. But they get to a rare place in 2025 relationships when they wanna have children. They wanna procreate. Because That's a rare place to be because, firstly, nobody wants to do that anymore, just naturally. Naturally. Well, that is their natural state. But that's not the natural state of a human being, not want to procreate. They just want to fuck around and find out nothing. They want to be spending their times fucking around everybody and finding out nothing about life. Getting nothing back. Except little dopamine hits, little bit pleasure here and there. But then their dopamines are extremely low. And that's what leads them to that. Those actions and those patterns, habits, whatever you want to call it. But also, why many people don't want to have kids is economically people are struggling because the fiat system, it ain't working anymore that good. The freaking bankers' fiat system that have made them rich as a motherfucker, it's not really working for the middle class anymore. Blue collar workers, it's not working that well anymore. So people are afraid to have kids because they don't feel that they can provide a good, meaningful, healthy, rewarding experience for their kids, safe experience for their kids. They don't have the funds, the resources to do it anymore. That's why we also talk about the economics a lot. These people don't know shit about Bitcoin. They know everything how bankers, the fiat system fucks them over. Probably they don't know how it happens. They just kind of went along with it. They're just going along with it like, oops, I don't know why my bank account is empty again. I cannot have children because I cannot feed them. But the whole point here was some rare humans in 2025, they get to the point that they want to have kids. And then what happens? What the hell is going on? I put my pee-pee in you and I do but nothing happens. Nothing starts to grow inside of you. What is going on? We try every month. We try every day, very hard, but nothing happens. That's another manifestation of the problem. But the whole freaking point over here, the root cause behind all of this is the environment, which is not right in 2025. That's why most humans do not work like humans are supposed to work, how their ancestors work. They are messed up, big time. This is why also many relationships, if you manage to get it in the good one, it starts to kind of drift apart. The relationship starts to drift apart. They don't pair bond, they start to grow separate. Not growing together, growing separate. Back in the days, this didn't used to really happen. And I have heard many reasons from many people, like it was because of the religion, it was because of the belief systems, it was because of the physiology, the psychology was different, the mindset was different of some people. No, it was the physiology. Their hormones, how their bodies work, that was the key. Because when people pair bond, when they did that, those people spent all their times in very similar environments. These days, you can spend all of your time not all of you do. You can be a relationship, even live together, but you two can be in completely different environments. That's what the non-native EMFs, that's what the blue light, that's what the 5G, that's what the foods in today's world, that's what all of that, the chemicals from all these products people use, especially women. That's one of the biggest problems for women. But they change the outer environment for everybody. That changes their inner environment. Theory 101. And two people living in a same household trying to manage a relationship in 2025 can be in totally different environments. Their workplaces can be totally different. The non-native EMFs can be totally different. How these people spend their times, the food they eat can be totally different. The chemicals they use can be totally different. Even the water can be totally different. And you see that affects these people's inner environment. That changes their physiology. And what's that called? It's redox. How much net negative charge your body can create. Basically how much energy your body can create. Basically how well your body can function. Two people in a relationship can start to have completely different redoxes. That will obviously lead to growing apart. Back in the days, the environments, even when people went to work, even whatever they did, they probably ate the same food in the relationship. The environment was pretty much the same because there were so little non-native EMFs, so much less pollution, so much less blue light toxicity. So the environment was the same. The people in those relationships, their redox, their inner environment, stayed pretty much the same. They were chilling together. Nothing was killing their motherfucking vibe. And when their redoxes, the energy of those people are on the same level, it's pretty easy to have a good relationship. First of all, your hormones work. So your sexual function, all of that what comes to being in a sexual relationship, that kind of just works together. Also what you wanna do with your life, that's kind of the same. When people's redox is the same. They wanna go to the same direction. But when two people have completely different redoxes, inner environments, somebody wants to go outside, hike in the nature, but somebody wants to stay home and watch TV. Somebody wants to go bed at freaking 9 p.m. when it gets dark so he can get good sleep. But the other one wants to watch Netflix and eat some snacks, eat some potato chips, whatever, ice cream and watch Netflix. Some people wanna live in the city. Some people wanna live in a rural area, off-grid life. Someone is completely freaking bad out, crazy, horny, wanna have sex all the time. The other one doesn't feel horny at all, maybe once a month. You start to see all these different things because the redox power of those two people in the relationship are completely different. They are going into completely different directions. That's why it's super easy not to pair bond. It's super easy to grow apart. Because their physiology works completely different. And this affects what those people wanna do, how those people behave, how they see each other. Like if somebody's redox is super high, he might not find the other person whose redox is now very low. He or she doesn't. They don't find that other person attractive anymore. It's that simple. Because the other one is just, you can sense when the other person is not working. But to him or her, it's all, nothing of that makes sense. Because when your redox goes low, you turn into NPC. When your inner environment turns bad, you turn into a normie. You don't know your ass from your elbow. You don't know left from right, up from down. That's how it happens. That's why most relationships don't work anymore. If you get in the relationship. Also, you need to have a freaking 10-page checklist before you can even get in the relationship anymore. Especially if you are high redox. Because you understand, if somebody took this one a couple years ago, only he or she took a couple of those or few of those, that's a no for me, dog. If that person has a high body count, that's a no for me, dog. If that person has a lot of tattoos, uses drugs, low dopamine behavior, that's a no for me, dog. There's all of these things. If that person has a lot of piercings, colorful hair color, he identifies as a gay frog. There's so many different examples. He or she's a liberal. He or she's part of a... I'm not gonna go there. You get the point. There's a huge freaking little checklist before you can even get to the relationship part. And then there's all these other freaking problems that can happen. So best advice is, like I have said, be on the same page with everything basically. All of the big things. You want to be in a healthy environment together. You want to create a healthy environment inside of you together. You are on the same page when it comes to economy, health, politics. What's the good place to live? What's the good environment to live together? You need to be on the same freaking page about it. All of those things. And then you naturally do the same kind of things. You naturally gravitate to same kind of things. Your redoxes, your inner environments naturally stay the same. Naturally you start to pair bond. Naturally you can start to have children. Naturally you're gonna live a happy, healthy, joyful life full of connection and harmony. Now I'm not gonna say there's not gonna be any fights or whatever, because bitches are gonna be bitches and guys are gonna be guys, you know. But it's gonna work out way better than it's working out for about 90, 95, 99% of the people, especially in the Western modern world. Base science, in and out. This is the place where you want to have all the chit chit bang bang, where you want to have your kids swimming around, all that good stuff that human beings should want to do, should aspire to do, inspire and aspire to do. See you later.